Name?
Matt Vibert.
Okay, what year are you in school?
Fourth year, so a senior, but in the architecture program, which is a 5-year program. So,
Okay.
Fourth year.
So you're an architecture major.
Architecture student.
Okay. Well, Matt, I appreciate you taking some time to chat with me. We're just going to talk a little bit about what it's like being a member of this community here at the Villa. So, start and just tell me what an average week, or start with an average day. What's an average day for you like here at the Villa as an architect major?
For an architect, the average day would be start at midnight, I guess.
Okay.
So yeah, waking up in the morning. Usually for me, I'm usually waking up around 8:45, right at the end of breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Grab a breakfast and start the day off, and then heading into the studio on the top floor, seeing what the day has to offer, kind of getting my bearings on the day,
Mm-hmm.
a cup of coffee, and then usually it's the morning until lunchtime, usually working on whatever it is for my studio projects, or planning trips, or we did a lot of that. And then lunch comes around, and then studio usually runs in the afternoon. It's kind of a loose schedule, but runs in the afternoon, and then Italian also, and then dinner right after that. But so kind of structured in that day. There's times when you're trying to figure out what you have to do for yourself in order to get yourself where you have to be in studio, or just like your personal life, but then also the interaction with a lot of other people, and how to budget that time is a really important thing. It's a valuable lesson that's learned, especially here. We've learned it all through college, but I think here it definitely becomes a lot more apparent, especially because of the people that you're around constantly.
Okay, so would you say that your day is more or less structured or crazy compared to life in Blacksburg?
Definitely less structured. But I think so. Right at the beginning, the only structure was what time the class was, and it was a very loose time and very loose class for us. So there was a lot of kind of personal structure that I had to develop for the day, which was hard. It was definitely different than anything I've done. So trying to develop a structure to be a successful student, successful community member was definitely essential. So it was more personal structure than the given structure
that you normally have in Blacksburg.
Back in Blacksburg, correct.
Okay, so let's zoom out a little bit. That's kind of what a day is like. What about a week? How does that feel and flow?
Standard week, I'd say, is primarily the first 4 days of the week, so Monday through Thursday, usually studio oriented and planning oriented. Once the weekend comes around, it's usually traveling and enjoying and experiencing the area and the places that we travel to. Definitely. Yeah, first 4 days, more internal, figuring out what I have to do here, working, so personal accomplishment, work accomplishment, and then the second half is the exploring in the area. Absolutely.
What are the pros of living here and being a part of this community?
For me, it's definitely obviously it's the change from what we've been doing in Blacksburg, and a good change. It's an opportunity that has allowed myself to see and to experience and to be a part of something different than Blacksburg, something that's, in my opinion, a lot more richer, I guess. A smaller group of guys and girls, students, and then how do we incorporate ourselves into the community?
But flip it. What are some of the negatives, the cons of living in the Villa and life here in Reville?
It's definitely, like I said, it's a small group of people, so you're around them literally 24/7,
right,
from living in the rooms to studio to classes, to dinner and everything like that. So it's a challenge.
Uh-huh.
To, even though like these are some of your best friends,
Right.
it's a challenge to be around them all the time. As bad as that sounds, but it's definitely one of the most challenging things that we face. There's definitely a point midway through the semester where you can tense, you can feel the tenseness among like different groups, and I think that's only natural. I think that's something that's always come about. Back in Blacksburg, you have the opportunity of having smaller groups of friends and kind of bouncing among from group to group and just kind of relaxing.
Right.
But here you don't have that flexibility, that freedom. And now you can take that into a pro and see how you can challenge yourself and to accept those those problems.
What you kind of said too was the pro of this environment is also kind of the negative, right?
Absolutely.
So, that's interesting. So, in one word, sum up life here at the Villa. How would you describe it?
I'd say adaptability.
Okay.
So kind of going off how do you adapt to this community? Let's say the smaller community, so these 50 students that we're living with, and then adapting to the community Riva San Italia.
Okay.
Maybe even bigger in Europe. But so how do I adapt to the community? How do I balance my personal life with the things I have to accomplish? How do I kind of carry myself also amongst the group? How do I deal with that point in the semester where we're just kind of go at it, that tenseness? How do you adapt? How do you balance the personal with this group of friends that you're always around?
Right.
I think here becomes a lot more the challenge between both those is a lot more visible. But then also with the community, it's a very compared to Blacksburg, it's a lot more. It's a quieter community, everything like that. So, how do you carry yourself at night? After you come back to the bars, everything like that.
Matt, thank you for spending some time with me and sharing your wisdom. I appreciate it. Thanks.